Eugene.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Um,
Uh, Pretty good to having me here today. It's a pleasure to meet you. Yeah,
oh, come on. Um, um, yeah, I'm just starting as a YouTuber. One day people will be saying this for real, and
yeah,
I'll be honored. Right now, I'm just I'm just relaxed about it.
yeah.
But yeah, basically, as I explained, I'm doing this as um, like an initiative to just to try myself as a podcaster, I guess, first of all. But then I think what would be the value to the people? Yeah, and I think there is an opportunity. um I think in the future you don't want to be, let's say, when you look for a job and you're going through the rounds of interviews with many companies, let's say on average maybe you need to interview like 5 companies to change your job. Yeah, and they all will be the same, doing the same behavioral interview first. So you'll be doing 5 interviews saying the
Yeah.
same things. They will all ask you, hey, tell me about yourself. um, uh, what's your experience and stuff like that, and you'll be like, oh my god, I'm telling this story fifth time already. So why not just record it, so everyone
Yeah,
can see it. And if they have more questions, okay, they can always ask you, and they can always like do it as incorporate the other questions in the second interview. But the first interview is already there. It's live,
yep.
yeah. So
Okay.
why not just use that? So I think people will be in future, people have resume with their name, their phone number, address, LinkedIn profile, and recorded interview on Talent Hub. How about that?
Yeah, sounds pretty good. Like I feel like
Yes.
it's reduced a lot of time. Yeah, and
Yeah.
they give the interviewer a time to explain and delve it deeper into what they have instead of just repeating like
True. Yes.
service level stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. And there will be actually multiple interviews. So I'm thinking we will also have like more technical, in-depth interviews. If let's
Yeah.
say you're an engineer, software developer, we'll have maybe paid content where they can purchase your for a small fee. They can purchase your screencast, let's say, where you're coding, on camera, with
Yeah.
with a screen record being recorded, and you talk to it, and maybe we co-host it, and we kind of and you explain things, and straight away I think experienced tech lead or developer, he will understand your level, just the way you operate, the way you are talking to it, they will straight away understand if you deserve to be on their team, if you are fit or not. Yeah. But behavioral mostly about command of English, how you communicate, who you are as a person, um and maybe your passion, yeah, mistakes, you like how you reflect on things you did in the past, what drives you crazy, what makes you perform better, maybe, yeah. So you're a starting professional, um, but still you already can look back at some time and explain a little bit, yeah, what um, what went well for you, what went not so good, and where you see yourself in the future, and what's your dream job, So yeah, let's just start with that, and yeah, tell us a bit about your journey so far.
Okay, so my name is Eugene Nguyen. So I'm come from Vietnam. I'm actually a software developer from Vietnam. I've been working for like 3.5 years, and I feel an urge to. Okay, I came from a different background, whereas I'm a mechatronics engineer. I work with electronics and do Arduino, Raspberry Pi stuff. But I feel like there's some missing pieces in there. I feel like I fall into more coding style than doing with electronic stuff. So I'm try. At the
Did you say
end,
mechatronics?
yeah, mechatronics. It's mean
Because
like
I'm not familiar. I know electronics is like what like mobile phones,
yeah,
calculators, computers made of, those
yeah,
like
yeah,
parts.
electronics like
So
chips,
what's mechatronics?
IC. So mechatronic is like like they combine mechanic engineer and then electronic engineer
Oh,
into one major. So I have to
why would
learn.
I do it? So
Uh,
what's the
so
benefit? Like What are you working on? What would be the outcome of your work?
So the outcome of mechatronics major is to build robotic stuff like mechanical hands because we
Okay.
still need
So it
to
has to be moving. Yeah. So it's
yeah
not like a static device like a phone or calculator or
yeah
computer. Okay, understand. Yeah. So it's like on the verge and how to incorporate those those two together. I guess. Yeah.
yeah.
Are you a big fan of Boston Dynamics? Those robots?
Oh man, like they are the best, the best of the best.
Yeah.
I
How
used
do you
to
compare it to how do you compare it to Tesla's Optimus? Like they have different walking style, obviously. So do you think Tesla is, if you say Boston is still the best, do you think Tesla is coming close or still far away?
okay. So I feel like Tesla and Elon Musk has a different like goal. I think at the end, their goal is to putting out some products to like for everybody to use, and
Yeah,
but Boston Dynamic, I think they are going in different route. Whereas
really?
they do the research like in my opinion, like in my humble opinion only, I feel like
Yeah,
Boston Dynamic is they
more
try to
research based.
yeah more
But I think I,
research.
I think they were for a while. Yeah, but now I think they're really starting to getting commercial. Yeah, I think,
Mm,
and especially this new robot that they got, the electric motorized. Oh wait. So what was the jump? The big one, the jumping one. I forgot what it was.
sorry, I cannot remember the name
Yeah.
of the robot too, but it's
What was
pretty good. Like at parkour, it can
but they
do
changed it, right? So, but they now I'm not I don't remember what it was powered by. Maybe it was powered by like a gasoline engine or whatever. But now they have the new one, lighter one, electric one, right? The one
okay.
that can like turn like head, 360, and the torso like 360, and it just like all kind of. Have you seen those latest videos?
Yeah, I seen it. They
Yeah.
can do backflip and then they can do front flip. They can even
No,
do
no, no,
some
no. So that's the old one.
the
No,
old
that's the
one.
old
Oh,
one.
so
Oh
okay,
my man,
so
come on! Who is in mechatronics? Come on, you
uh,
should you should
I'm. I'm
keep up.
now like full time software developer, so
Yeah.
I'm
Okay. Okay.
mostly
Okay.
on
Okay.
the
Okay.
software
So
side
we'll
now.
get over robots then. Yeah, but basically, so they released the new one, which is lighter, which is smaller, electrically powered, and it's more like a humanoid robot that you can interact with and stuff. It still kind of can do those things, but they abandoned that big one that was jumping. And remember that bag? He was throwing the bag to the guy.
Uh
Yeah.
huh.
That's the one you're referring to, and who did the backflips and everything. So I think they parked that one because it was too bulky, too big, or I don't know what the reason. Yeah, but now there is another one. Yeah, much lighter, and that already looks more like in line with what Tesla is doing. But I think previously they were research based, Boston Dynamics, and now looks like they're the dog robot. They're commercializing, and what's the other one? The one that's picking the doing the
Pick and pack stuff.
yes, picking boxes from the lorry and kind of putting them on the conveyor and stuff like that. Yeah, so I think that they're now pushing it a lot, the commercial setting. So I think in the end, everything should be commercial to succeed, to thrive. So
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay, cool.
I feel like
So where's your where? So coming back, yeah. So where's your passion? Honestly, like, is it
so.
software or is it
Yeah,
hardware?
like so as I saying, like I'm front to developing software. I like the software architect stuff. I learn myself everything and then start my internship at the end of my third year in university. So that is where I feel okay, this is what I want to do because I'm starting fresh. I'm writing PHP code with poor style of writing code. It's fresh. I'm loving it. So and then
Mhm.
they gave me the opportunity. I got my first internship at
Yeah.
Schneider Electric. Yeah, it's a pretty
Ah,
big electronics
okay.
and
You
maybe
went
a
there
little bit.
because of electronics, yeah?
No, no. Actually, they have
No.
a separate department for software development. So I went for the software development
So it was not
department.
related to electronics at all, yeah. So it was just
No,
like website building or something. Yeah.
yeah. So I
Okay.
mostly do some web-based application, digitalize a lot of stuff like how they a little bit related to hardware. I do some like scanning stuff and then put it into
Yep.
files and then upload to S3 and then
Yep.
some kind of stuff like that. And then at the end, they gave me an opportunity to actually do something pretty cool, which is related to um, what is that called? PLC, some kind of industrial.
Ah, PLC.
Uh,
I did that. I did that
yeah,
long time ago.
yeah.
Because
So,
I worked for automation company. Yeah.
uh huh.
So there was
Yeah,
some PLC. Well, I didn't do it per se actually. I did some integration with them. Um, but yeah, it's like industrial controllers.
yeah, yeah. It's
To
pretty cool.
basically manipulate robots and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So at the end, that is my graduate project. Yeah, I used that project as my graduate project where I integrate a web applications. I'm using Vue.js with Node-RED. If you know that, Node-RED is
Yep.
like automations platform where you can drag and drop stuff and integrate a lot of things with maybe a little bit of hardware side and with some software side. So I integrate the Vue.js with the PLC machine to actually create dashboard and create a
Mhm.
real-time dashboard that
Yep.
getting information from the PLC to create a dashboard of how they work, how many pieces that they do wrong, so they can measure out they okay if that PLC is need maintenance or not,
Hmm.
or is still doing good job? Does it perform not correct in a certain step?
So it's
So
like hardware monitoring
yeah,
in a way.
hardware monitoring.
But how,
Yeah,
how,
yeah.
how would you know if it needs help? Like it stops responding, or it's like doing some throwing some
So
errors. Like is there like a port you can read from and understand that it's
So
being
yeah, their BLC has the integrations. They have their own integration. They integrate with MQTT. So I like mostly like get every information from that protocol and then starting
yep,
to lay out every data and try to okay they gave me some manual to read through how that machine work because that machine is already like in
yep,
production, so they want to have the
yeah,
test, so they want to have a POC on okay, how can I improve this production line, and
sure,
how many like they need to have a way to like really report if that thing is dying, need
yeah,
maintain. Yeah, so and then eventually maybe predict the maintaining period for that thing, so they
yep.
can have like faster response to what is
Mhm.
doing. Yeah,
Wait,
so
so that was at Schneider
yeah,
Electric?
Schneider Electric. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you went there as an intern, yeah. You also
Yes.
mentioned that they gave to you, yeah. So it's like, was it like you are the only intern and they will just like give you the task just to, I don't know, like to keep you busy, but they were focusing on something else? Or was it more like a team effort and you were part of the team and you were discussing those things? Or because it sounds like you were working on your own.
No, actually, I am that graduate project has three member. So that project is came from a different department where they like operates the manufacturing process stuff, and we got a lot of intern.
Yeah.
In that period, about like 10, 12 people in
Yeah.
scattered around with different departments. So I we have three people in software development
Hmm.
department. So I was the one who do like sometime I do it alone, sometime I do it other people on, but mostly we separate in different project and we do it
Yeah.
separately,
So
and
it
we
was
only
like your own long running like project, and you had like a
yeah,
supervisor
yeah.
working like who you would report to. Like how often would you meet with him? Like weekly?
So I meet him daily actually. Like
Oh, daily. Okay.
he's actually a senior software developer who be able to persuade the head of manufacturing to open a new department to do a
Yeah.
digitalized stuff. So
Yeah.
they
Okay.
like recruit
So it
us
was like
to
his initiative, yeah,
yeah.
and maybe they didn't have budget, so they only allowed to hire an intern
Into
for that. But
yeah.
did you do a good job? Like, or the project was canned when you left?
Actually, they still use a lot of project that I do on that period. Like I did a pretty hardcore project where I need to like create an web applications for to optimize the forklift driver tasks. So you as you can see, like we have a big warehouse. We have
Yeah.
5 forklifts, so they want to optimize the tasks of forklift driver where do he go next. So we have this guy needs to pick this item on this
Ah, like a scheduler. Yeah,
yeah,
like go
yeah,
to that aisle, uh, take that pallet from floor
from
3,
yeah,
and
and
move it
and
to somewhere. Yeah. Mhm.
and then I that project was so hard and I have to do it individually. So it took me
Wait.
about
So another hard project. Well, that one, the previous one was also not so easy. Let's
yeah,
say.
yeah, I know. So
Uh, there's
I
another
put
one, and
myself
you as an
yeah.
intern doing it by yourself. You must
Yeah.
either you are a genius or mm,
uh,
or
I mean
how
like
do you do
maybe
such a complicated project?
so I was a pretty dumb person at that time. Like I'm really fresh. I'm really fresh. I
But
don't
you,
know how to
yeah,
measure like the difficulty of the task. So I have
yeah,
to
okay.
like
So
I
in
think
your eyes, it was the hard project.
yeah, yeah. It
So
was
now looking back, retrospectively, you would say, this was a simple project. Yeah. So it was
no.
just not enough for a senior developer, so they gave you to you.
Like no, like it's
No,
actually a still difficult projects to do. Like those are still a pretty difficult project to do correctly. You know what I mean? Like I was just fiddling out and try to solve this problem, solve that problem, and
but
make
wait,
do
was it existing software or like it was written
yeah in
from scratch?
software, in software, in
No,
software.
I mean it was already existing application.
No,
This
no, no.
forecast
I
scheduler.
no, I built everything from scratch.
So
Like
greenfield
every
project.
single yeah, like
Who drew up
every
the requirements? Who gave you the requirements? That senior
uh
developer, or you
yeah, the
talked to
senior
actual? Okay, cool. So he
yeah,
was like closely supervising you daily, basically.
yeah.
You and other 3 interns or 2 interns. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
three, two other intern. Yeah, two other intern. We
Yeah.
just
So, but
do.
it wasn't like a team effort, because usually now software is built by teams. Yeah.
Yeah,
So in your case, it was just like you and him, and like you do some software, do some research, and then ask him a question when you get blocked, and he tells you, try this, try that." Yeah. So it's like one on one. Yeah.
yeah, yep,
Okay. But which is good way to learn, I guess, as well when you get enough time of that person. Yeah.
yeah.
So it was fun time.
Yeah, I have. I learned a tons. I'm come from writing PHP, and then like I said, okay, we cannot use PHP anymore. I feel like we can use a different language where it has a pretty good pattern, pretty good structure to follow, which is C sharp. So I managed to say, okay, a manager, please try a project with .NET. I think
Yeah.
that would be a pretty cool way for us to learn a new stuff with structural way, with good maintenance
And
and
he
good
agreed.
community. Yeah, yeah,
Really?
yeah, good
Wow.
maintenance,
I
good
would not.
community,
I would not
and
agree if an intern comes in and tells me, you have to change everything. I'm like,
I mean I'm just asking, like I'm just asking for
so you asked,
because
but did he agree? Like, did
yeah,
you
yeah,
persuade
yeah,
him?
yeah. I at the end we start a fresh new project with .NET Core, which is the forklift
Oh,
schedule task scheduler. It
okay.
was so difficult. It was so difficult that I need to learn a lot of stuff all over again because I need to make the website like refresh in real time. So I was thinking of like putting in some web socket using Signal, and we was using like .NET Core 3.1 or something. Yes,
Mhm.
it's a pretty difficult way for us to. like introduce the new technology stacks in, and then try to figuring out with that kind of difficult project in the first place. So it took me,
Why is it difficult though? Like I'm just trying to understand. Like
yeah. So
it's just a
because
scheduler. Yes, you just like create a new job. Okay, the new job is pick up from there, leave it there. Next job, pick up from
uh,
here, leave it there. Uh,
because it's need to
you're
okay.
not like there is no like there is a very complicated what is it um convoyage or like a salesman or like a logistics problem that AI is solving, yeah, like how to deliver things like when you have multiple destinations and many things to deliver, how do
Yeah.
you actually the most optimally do it, right? But that's not it, right? So you are
Mm,
not solving that problem.
yeah, yeah. So I just solving the where to do the next task, which is the
Yeah,
best.
so it's just
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it's just like a task applicate to do app,
yeah,
like a
yeah. To
develop
do that.
to
Yeah,
demonstrate your skills or demonstrate the new framework. We usually do to do app.
yeah, yeah. Maybe basically
So,
is
so
yeah,
that's what it was. Yeah, to
yeah.
do web app for forklift. But how would forklift guys use it? Like on iPads? How would
Yeah,
they
on the
get to it?
iPad.
So they
So
have while they're driving, yeah, they have somewhere iPad mounted on the forklift. Was that how it
yes,
was?
yeah.
And then who was scheduling like what to do next?
The application itself. So we have a different department. So warehouse is a separate place, and operational is a separate place. So
Yeah.
operational has their own web interface to, okay, I want this item, how many of that, and the prioritize of that item in the manufacturing process. So if I need to get that item immediately, they will schedule it in. They will queue that task in, and then it will the applications is will prioritize by the prioritize of the items, the positions of the item, so that it could like send to the forklift driver web application, and then they just gotta short it out.
Yeah. So there are multiple drivers also. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they kind of operate different
Oh, on
areas
different
of
right.
the.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So they're kind of allocated to different parts of the warehouse, something like that.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Understand. Wow. So you are proud of it, what you did.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud.
Do you
It's
think?
awesome.
Yeah. Do you think they're still using your software? Do you think that code that you wrote is still running on some CPUs?
I don't know. Like, it's been like maybe they're not using that anymore, because like the way I need to persuade like operators to using that application is a pretty difficult process, because like they already have their own process, their own way
What
of
was the whole
doing.
process?
Like the whole process is, I'm not saying is
Yeah.
not efficient. Like they need to
Okay. Yeah,
go
but what
from,
what was it based on? Like, was it application or it was a spreadsheet? What was it?
no, it's not based on anything. They write it on the paper, and then going from the operational place into the warehouse and give that to the forklift driver. Then
Wait.
hey,
So that's the priorities like for the day. Like
yeah,
they create the priorities every day
yeah,
before the
yeah, yeah.
start of the day. Okay. And then during the day it doesn't change.
No, like it's dynamically, like so they need to enqueue a lot, because they this day they will make this kind of product, another day they're gonna create other kind of products. So they need to dynamically have a dynamically way
So during the
to,
day there could
yeah,
be like in the middle of those tasks, like there could
yeah,
be another task that's urgent or something like that.
yeah. So they just
Yeah,
gonna
so it just
run
calls
through
for
behind.
digitalization. But wait a
Yeah,
sec. So tell me then honestly, we want
yeah.
honesty. Was it deployed? Like, did any of the forklift drivers use it? Your
Yes,
application?
yes,
Or not?
yes.
As a
Actually,
trial or for real?
it's just a trial. Like it's just a
For
trial
trial.
for like a month, for like
Yeah.
a month.
And then
Yeah.
what happened?
So uh, I was fiddling with other projects already, so I just
So
let
you kind of
everything.
moved on, yeah?
Yeah,
So
I
you don't
kind of
know
move
if
on.
they actually ended up using it or not. It could be just a POC. But that's how a lot of software is done anyway, like as POC, and then yeah, fair enough. Like it can fail for different reasons. Maybe the
Yeah,
requirements were not aligned with expectations. Maybe technology is not ready for it. Maybe the implementation was not good enough. So there's a lot of reasons why this software that was written with love
yeah.
gets abandoned. Um,
Well,
yeah. Okay.
I feel like code is already written out is already legacy. So every single code that we read out and the next day is already legacy. So treat it with love and kindness. So our legacy will like maybe it's a good
Yeah.
legacy later on.
It's a good karma. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any good code is a karma, except for hackers code. Yeah. Those
Yeah. Yeah.
fraudulent code, bad code.
Yeah.
That's a bad karma. Okay. So what happened after? So how long you spent there in Schneider?
Actually, I spent about 11 months with
11 months. Yeah. Okay.
yeah
That's good. That
five
will teach you a
different
lot.
projects.
Yeah.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
five
Also,
different
I think
projects.
in this in the big organizations, I think you kind of learn like how the things are done on large scale, and how the things are done, like I guess properly, right? So like with the
Okay, like
with the amount of
honestly,
yeah,
like
yeah,
they are pretty bad at managing software engineer. Like because they are
yeah,
so
yeah,
fresh, they are so fresh that senior guy feel like he is also starting from like just started on his journey. So he's not actually doing like management software
yeah,
engineer in the way it should be. Yeah,
yeah,
maybe we should go with agile, but no, like we just
yeah.
daily talking with each other.
But
What I'm
that's
stuck.
actually what I was alluding to. Yeah,
Yeah,
because um, like you kind of learn both I guess sides. Yeah, in
yeah,
these big organizations, like you can see that things are done properly, like there's security levels and there's bureaucracy and there's like formalities and everything is like written down, stuff like that. But at the same time you see how retarded they are, like
yeah,
in some other ways. Yeah. So like if you work in like a vibrant startup and then you go to that place, you like, whoa, you will be shocked. How could the company with such a big brand, like such a like well-known brand, huge money, how can they be so backwards in some regards, right? So it's like it could be shocking sometimes. Yeah. um did you get that feeling?
uh, because it's my first job. I don't have like
Yeah,
any like expectations on the
yeah,
process. It's just there to learn the code, like and try to solve from some problem that I maybe I'm proud of. So
yeah.
like I
But
only
retrospectively, I guess that's what you pointed out just now as well,
yeah.
right? So that kind of they didn't do agile, and that software guy could do whatever he wants. There was no practice in place, whatever. Yes. So
Yeah, so yeah, it's what a pretty fun time for me. Like I learned a
mhm,
lot of stuff with using C sharp and kind of stuff, and
yeah,
know
yeah,
and learn the way to really properly structure the project as it
yeah.
is. Like
But
because
did you, when it comes to programming, would you say at that company you were just self-learning, you were
yeah,
self-taught rather than yeah, yeah. So they
yeah,
just gave
self
you
taught.
the opportunity, like to be part of something. Did they pay you?
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
just
just a little
tiny.
bit. Yeah, yeah. Just to compensate for like
Yeah.
something, for your expenses maybe. But yeah. What was the next one?
So my next job is in Bosch. Yeah,
Oh wow! So you
uh,
really like sticking around those industrial companies, right?
yeah,
I
but
went to the
like
Bosch company here in Melbourne long time ago. It was shockingly clean because I had
wow.
to something to compare to. I went also to what is it? General Motors.
Uh
Yeah, I
huh.
think when it was there, I think so. Yeah, I think so. And it was so smelly, so bad, like so
Oh,
noisy. Like I went out, I was like, oh my goodness, I smell so bad now. But then I went to Bosch and it was just spotless. Like Tesla now. watch some videos. Yeah.
Um,
Uh,
I'm not say I'm working in another manufacturing, but it
mhm.
actually they Bosch has a separate like really big like software engineer department called global Bosch Global Software something something. I forgot the name,
Yeah.
but they have a pretty big separate department for just
Yeah.
for software development. And within the Vietnam department, we do a lot of projects for different department from
Mhm.
in different regions in
Yeah.
maybe
I
in
think Vietnam
Europe.
is really picking up in IT, actually, in software, because
Yeah,
China became kind of prohibitively expensive. Yeah.
yeah,
And also there is this, this firewall, great firewall, and uh, maybe even communication barrier. I think Vietnam and other countries like nearby who are still growing, not that rich, they are now picking up and actually taking a lot from China.
yeah.
um, yeah, how big was that Bosch, like this software branch? How many people in Vietnam?
Oh,
Like
it's
100 people,
huge. It's
1,000 people?
huge.
Do you know the
Like
number? Like, did you
about like
research?
2,500 people around that.
Two and a half thousand staff, like in one
Yeah,
building, yeah, in one or
yeah, in
building
one
complex,
building,
whatever.
like one
Wow,
building.
and it's just software and just Bosch.
Yeah, it's just Bosch and software developer
Wow.
only.
So
They
what did you
have
do there? What
they
was the
have
project?
I think they have like 8 different departments, if I recall
Hmm.
correctly. Eight
Yep.
different departments. Each department just do a separate part. One is for like maybe internal development, where we
Yep.
develop software for different parts of the world. With the same within Bosch
Yep.
ourselves, and the other is to outsourcing. Like we do have a. I know a guy who worked for the projects. VinFast. VinFast is electric.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Is
yeah. The cars, yeah.
yeah, that the car. Yeah. So we
Number one,
have
they even tried to sell them in America. I'm not sure how it went.
yeah, but the EV is so bad. I'm sorry, Vietnam, but the EV is so bad. It should not be manufactured in any way. I'm sorry, Vietnam, but
Why?
really bad, really, really
Oh,
bad.
but they can probably get better over time.
Yeah,
No.
I know, but I feel like my feeling is like if we want to do something in a different part of the world, we have to do it the best we can. It's not we cannot roll out something like mediocre like that. I'm sorry, but
I don't
saying
know.
it's
I haven't
mediocre.
seen those cars. Yeah,
Like
but
like we
maybe
have
they're
a
cheap.
pretty bad
Okay,
review
so
like
they're not so
everywhere.
good. Okay, but well, but are they still selling them, improving them, or they just canned it?
They still try to improve that car
Okay, yeah. Well, give them some
over the year.
time. China was never good in terms of like with electronics, but in last 30 years they improved so much that it's now number one, right? In some
Yeah,
regard. So Vietnam could be the same. It just takes time. You can't like production excellence, manufacturing excellence
I
is
I,
not
I mean
over time success.
I mean I mean like the mindset is where they should not roll out the half-baked products just to give the world where who we are. We want something else
Yeah,
that is the best to
yeah.
show the
Before
world,
you
okay,
put it in the
we
market,
can do this. Yeah,
before you put it
we
in the
can
market.
do
Yeah,
this. Yeah.
yeah,
So with that half-baked product,
yeah.
I feel like America is already okay. Me, Vietnam
Yes and
cars.
no. Actually, I would a little bit disagree. Because if you a lot of times in software development as well, we have the same problem. Yeah. So there are bugs, and there are always improvements to make. But you have to also draw the line and say we are releasing on that day to make everyone mobilized, committed, to that goal. Because if it's never ending goal, if it's like, oh yeah, no, we have to perfect it, we have to make it better, 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 there will never be a stop line. So at some point you have to, and that's I think that's the um, genius of like great leaders like Elon Musk or whoever, to understand, okay, the product is good enough, maybe it's not perfect, but it's good enough for the market, so I will release it then. So let's mobilize the team now, because if you are late, you will end up maybe, I don't know, like overspending, yeah, um, and going bankrupt, yeah, if you are late. If you are too early, could happen exactly what you are describing, yeah. So it's like the product's half baked, and you kind of already exhausted your team, and you already promised, announced again to make the stakeholders committed, the team committed, everyone, and then you will lose your face if you say, "Oh, we failed. We need another." And all projects, they all actually run late anyway. So you probably, when you mobilize the team to the date, it's always like you will run to the date, but you know that it's going to be late. So it's already 3 times late. So now you actually have to release it because you already froze everything. You're already fixing bugs. There's already like the whole process of release in place already. You can't move it. You can't just like say, "Oh, okay, we were supposed to release on the 1st of December, but now, okay, we're 2 weeks late, and now we're in, like, okay, maybe and another week, and we release, right?" You can't just say, "Oh, we're 2 weeks late because the pro is still not good enough," and then another 2 weeks, "Oh, still not good enough," and 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. You can't just go indefinitely. You can't be late like so many times because people will also kind of feel weird and like, what's going on? Like, we're supposed to release 6 months ago, and every 2 weeks you tell us that we're gonna release in 2 weeks. Like, nobody works like this. So there is some dynamics to that as well. That Yeah, so that makes it complicated, I would say. But look, I think if Vietnam never built a car before, that's like you have to start somewhere, right?
Yeah, I understand that point. Like, okay, that's just I feel like we should rolling out one of the best thing, but I know there's a strategy behind that rolling out product. They do a lot of smart thing. I can see like they have a lot of strategy to like make that product improve in the futures where they're rolling out EV taxi brand on in Vietnam
Mhm.
only. So they try to use as much as the product that they made to like gather information and data so they can improve the products
Yeah,
periodically. Like,
I think that's a fair move. Like, used internally Vietnam, and there are some specifics to the market. And it doesn't have much money. It's not that rich, so you can make cheap product also and profit on that. So yeah, and then just learn from that, and then when you're ready, when the product is on par with the rest of the world, then you can scale it and export it.
yeah,
Um,
I
Okay, we
think
don't
that's
have much time left actually. Let's talk
yeah,
more about development. So
yeah.
where's your passion? Like, where you wanna be?
So I want to be. I'm actually pursued a master of IT degrees to learn more about architecture because my goal is to become a solution architect in the future
Yeah.
because
Okay.
I feel like I love solving problem
Yeah.
in a big scale, in big scale.
Yeah.
So I feel like coding is where we're solving the problem in the smaller scale between the process, but I like to like be able to roll out like a big architecture to solve a problem
Yeah.
efficiently. Yeah.
That's cool.
So
Yes.
yeah, so that is why I fiddling with a lot of technology, like
Yep.
Nix OS, a pretty new kind of stuff within like
What's
I
that?
a Nix OS. Nix. Let me give you
I haven't heard of
the
it. Yeah.
so Nix
What is
OS
it
is
about?
actually new, not new. It's already researched in 2013 already, and they just roll out a language. Nix is actually a language, package manager, and an operating system at the same time. What it
Wow.
does is pretty cool, where we use their expression language to write the pre-configurations for everything. I mean, like everything. Like you can predetermine where what is the package, what is the software within your operating system, and then just one click roll out. And
So what can
and
you build with it? I'm wondering.
uh, So the Nix, the mindset of using Nix is where is need to be reproducible. The reproducible is their goal. Is the
Yeah.
goal
What can you build
of the
with it?
language.
Can you build a mobile app with it, or can you build a
No, it's
website?
like it's not actually a language, a
Yeah.
programming language. It's like Terraform. It's an expression language. We can use that
For what?
infrastructure
Like
as code
so
for the operating system.
so that's for infrastructure.
Yeah, yeah, and we can
So
use
for
the
the cloud, basically, to set up your cloud the way you need it.
yeah, basically,
That's what it is.
and
Yeah. Okay.
they are also have a package manager. Yeah, they using that for package manager. Okay, so we have FSH, Linux file system,
Yep.
hierarchy file system. So they don't actually use that file system within the Nix OS, but they
Hmm.
use a different stuff they call Nix store, where they store every packages in separate folder with
Hmm.
the separate hash. So that they have their package manager has the pretty smart way to know, okay, this package need this dependency with that version, so
Yeah.
they can have multiple versions of the same packages within Nix.
Hmm.
So we don't have the fail of dependencies being not correctly. Uh,
So how did you get into this one, like into this niche? Or, like, where did you hear from it? Like, where the need
uh,
for it came from?
okay, so I'm a YouTube. I'm consumed a lot of YouTube. I
Yeah.
watch YouTube every day, and things led to the other. So I
Yeah.
mostly watching computer science and technologies kind of
Yeah.
stuff within YouTube, and then just one thing led into another. One day I met somebody talk about Nix.OS, and I immediately in love with that. I'm actually use
Yeah.
Nix package manager within using that is package manager for my Mac OS. I'm not using Homebrew as my
Yeah.
main package manager anymore because I feel like Nick is very reproducible. You just
Yeah, but
have
it sounds
one
like it's a
small.
very specific. It's like it's one specific piece of technology or like a
Yes,
framework. Yeah, for specifically package management. But the software development is much broader than that, right? So
yeah,
it's good to have like a laser sharp focus on something for some time to learn it very in depth. But
yeah,
you also mentioned that you did C#.net. So how
yeah.
versatile are you with .net now? Would you say?
Uh, I think I'm at the intermediate level of using .NET Core. I update knowledge every few weeks, every few months because they keep rolling
But
out new
did you
feature.
did you use it like recently in like in a commercial setting in a real project?
Yeah. So my last company is Ansarada. It's actually a Australia company. I work with mostly with Vietnam and combined of Australians within the team.
Yeah.
So yeah, we roll out the product called Do and Procure. Yeah, deal and procure, where it's a digital live platform for you to do some data room, virtual data room, where we keep all the paperwork of. So okay, so what our platform trying to do is to help people selling their company to other people, and there is paperwork that involved within that process. So we
Yeah.
are like the broker who kept all the paperwork of
Yeah.
them within the same platform, and then they can review, like people buy that company, and they need to see every like type of paper that
Yeah. Yeah.
related
Yeah.
to
I
selling
understand.
your
Yeah.
company. So yeah,
Yeah. Do
we
the due
use
diligence,
that.
as we say.
Yeah.
Okay. And and what was that a team setting? So you actually worked with
Yes.
the agile within agile team. That's how you
Yeah.
know agile as well.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. So
So
what were the like? Can you describe me like what a day in that team would look like for you?
okay, we have daily. So we're using Agile. So you must be know everything about Agile term,
Hmm.
methodology, this kind of stuff. So we have daily, we have weekly planning, we have what's that called? We have I forgot about that name, but something like review. reviewing that week, reviewing that spring, and then we have a planning for next spring. We do some
Wait, so how long? How big were the sprints?
only 2 weeks. We doing 2 weeks spring. Yeah,
Yeah, but you said
sometime
weekly
we
planning, so you also like plan for the week as well, like
yeah
every
we
Monday.
do yeah we do weekly planning. Like, okay, so we do like in the half of the spring we would do a planning for the next spring. Yeah. So and then we have a
Ah,
yeah. So we also have a retrospective
yeah,
after the spring. So yeah. So I think like the manifesto said, the Agile manifesto said like
yeah,
we should create a framework, Agile framework to fit with individual team. Yeah, it's like a culture within a team.
yeah.
Yeah. So that is the way we roll out our Agile framework. Yeah.
What were the main challenges? Would you say working in a team?
Uh, we have a lot of back and forward. Like I'm still working individually in Bosch, but then when I go to Anserata, we started working with team, and I think most challenging is where uh, I try to how to say add my idea to what is the plan of the team and be able to make my idea is a valuable idea for the team because
Yeah.
working
Was it
individually is
was
pretty
it
easy.
successful? Like, were you successful, or you were politely rejected? Like saying, "Oh
Uh,
yeah, yeah, it's a very good idea. Yeah, let's talk about it next time."
No, 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 no. The Ansarada is a pretty good place to be. Like I think I feel like Ansarada has a pretty good culture overall because they
Yeah,
listen to you and they actually think about that. Not just like, okay, yeah, it's a good thing to do.
yeah,
Maybe we talk about that next time. But no, like I've been rejected for quite a while because I know my idea is not really that good. I'm just started my career for like only
yeah.
1.5 years something. A lot of
Hmm.
bad idea coming through, but he's the leader himself is pretty kind to be say okay. So we have like one meeting every week. So we
Yeah,
could talk about the ideas
yeah,
internally with each other. We discuss a lot of things,
yeah,
and okay, I feel like your idea is pretty good, and I think we can use that at some place. But right now, I feel like it's not really good.
yeah.
I
So
like
that's
the
exactly
directness.
politely rejecting. Yeah,
No,
which
I
makes
feel like
sense. Yeah.
I feel like
No,
he
you didn't feel
directness.
rejected. Yeah, no, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah, yeah. It has to be polite, otherwise you'll get frustrated. Yeah,
Uh, but then but then I got better because we trying to do a different project within that time. So we trying to rolling out a new project that like maybe affect to all the projects too. So we trying to basically another to do list but microservice. So
yeah,
I spend a lot of time to dealt with how we do this. How do we like migrate from monolith architecture to microservice
yeah,
architecture, and be able to bring some pretty good valid idea that we actually use in that project. So I think that it's actually a process of growth. It's not maybe your idea is not good enough, but you kept like bringing out some idea. You kept think about that, and then someday your idea would be able to reach the point where we can use that. So I got a lot. I feel like I got 2 or 3 idea that be able to go within that project, and then
yeah.
it's pretty good. Yeah.
But now, retrospectively, if it was how long you were in this company?
11 months.
Also 11 months.
Oh,
So
wait,
now
wait, wait. One and a half, 1 year and 3 months, something. Yeah.
1 year, 3 months. Okay, so
Yeah.
now retrospectively, do you think like some of the ideas you suggested at the very beginning were they like childish? Like how to you now that you understand the context better and you got a bit more experience, do you feel like, oh, those ideas were really stupid? I was so childish to suppose them. And now I understand why they were so politely rejected.
Yeah, I mean, like really, because I'm lack of experience, so they gave me the opportunity to experiment itself. That is a really good place to be, a really good environment to be. at least they gave me the opportunity to speak it out loud and not like
Yeah.
humiliate me.
But you
That's a,
understand, yeah, but you
yeah,
understand that, like, now you
yeah,
wouldn't suggest those things, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, like for sure, like
Yeah. Of course. Yeah,
for sure.
but that means you are growing. Yeah. So and I think a lot of professionals, for us, it's important to understand that, like, we can be out of line, yeah, and we cannot know everything, and there are always like things that we don't know even, right? So you
Yeah,
have to kind of always, I guess, be cautious and read the room or read the company, the team, because it kind of gives you feedback. And a lot of times we actually, partly because we are from different culture, yeah,
yeah,
uh, we can kind of misinterpret those signals. You know, if
yeah,
somebody is like politely saying, "Oh, that's a good idea," you kind of think that, "Oh shit, we're gonna do it," and then you feel like, "Oh, nothing is happening," and you get frustrated. But then you have to understand that, no, they said your idea sucks, but they don't just say it to you in the face. They just say,
yeah,
"Oh,
yeah,
that's a
yeah,
great idea. Keep it to yourself," like, but in a very polite way. So there's culture involved, but also like a corporate professional culture, I guess. Yeah, that you
yeah,
have to learn, because we live, like, and we work in like Western environment, like professional environments, especially in
yeah,
IT. It's kind of international. Yeah, it's not specific to the region or territory. So yeah, I think it kind of tells us that you already like lived through it, so you understand that you can be out of line, and you would be like more humble when you go to the next place. You will not be like raising hand and like suggesting something too radical in the beginning, and then being frustrated that you're not heard, right? So you already passed that stage.
yeah.
Okay, cool. So I think this concludes this one. I thought it was fun. Um,
Me too.
you too?
Me too.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
me too. Me too. But
Yeah.
like the part where it's like Vietnamese kind of corporate stuff, like I feel like it's could leading to uh, people can be how to say that it might be misleading in some
Come on.
way. Like
But it's your opinion. And again, like, we learn, right? So
yeah,
we today you think it this way, tomorrow you might rethink it anyway. So there's nothing wrong with expressing your opinion, because you know
yeah,
what and you're passionate about your country, and you don't want your country to,
yeah.
like,
Look bad. Like
do
I
some,
love my
to be
country.
embarrassed. I know, because
Yeah,
I come from Russia, and Russia embarrassed itself the most in the last couple of years, right? So, um, like, yeah, and you have to live with it, right? So it's not the worst thing that your country just produced a not so good car. It's still electric.
yeah,
It's much better. So Russia doesn't even produce electric cars yet. They still do the old, very cheap gasoline. They even go backwards, like, from like injector cars, they go back to carburetor cars, something like that. Um, but anyway, yeah. So don't worry about it. I really enjoyed it. Thanks
yeah.
for
Me
doing
too.
it
Me
with
too.
me,
Like,
and yeah, good
thank you for the
luck.
talk.
So yeah, Eugene, software developer guy who wants to become a solution architect, passionate about software development. Hire him. Approved. See you, mate. Nice talking.